Look close up how I go on. Una see this? Talk to my nice.
Play with me, you know I'm undefeated. A real high girl know how to keep a nigga heated. You say you want respect, won't treat me how you wanna be treated. You told me to keep it real, but you don't practice what you preaching. You want me to blow your phone up and come and looking for you till I find you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know you haven't seen me in a long while. Well, here I am, boo. Now guys, so today, as I have been saying, and I'm finally doing it, I am going to be doing my updated foundation, highlight, contour, brow, everything routine. If you are new here, hi, welcome. I am Miz Vintage, also known as Chevanese. And if you are returning, wagwan, big up yourself. Thank you for coming back. Now guys, so if you want to see how I do my updated foundation, highlights, and contour routine, keep on watching. Bye guys. If you're hearing a noise in the background, that is my fan. I cannot go without it. I turn it down as low as possible because I don't want it to disturb, but just don't listen to it. Listen to me. Yeah, listen to me. So first things first, I need to moisturize my skin and all of that. Now I prefer brow pomade or pencil, but my thing is, because I'm dark, it's hard to find a pencil that is dark enough for me, that shows up on my skin. So I just stick to the brow pomade because I can't bother. So I'm using this Music Flower brow pomade as always. This is not really an eyebrow tutorial, but I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing for my eyebrow, because my main focus today will be my face, right? So do you guys like the voiceover videos, or do you guys like when I come and I sit down and I talk with you? Alright, so you're putting a small amount of product on the brush and you're lightly outlining your brows. Lightly outlining them, both the top and the bottom. I put the product on the back of my hand to warm it up, because when you take it straight from the container, it's a little bit too harsh on your skin. I just feel like it looks too dark, right? But when you put it on the back of your hand and you warm it up, then it applies smoother and it just look more natural and like brow hair. You know, it mimics brow hair when you do it correctly. Now just see that now we have them outlined. Nice, right? You're gonna again take the brush and you're gonna try to make strokes. So for the front part of the brow, you're going upwards. For the middle, you're turning the brush to an angle and you go like this, and for the end it's like this. If I'm making sense. If you want a detailed brow tutorial, I will make one. Just like that. Now for the box effect, that will come out because, you know, we're gonna spool it down and that will come out nice and clean, not too harsh, looking just good. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other brow and we'll be right back. Alright, now that we have our brows filled in, brows are sisters, not twins, okay? Nobody has identical brows. When a girl look good, tight throat. My skin is not the best right now, but it's coming on, okay? It's coming on. So as I said, you guys need to moisturize and ensure that you have a nice little, you know, canvas to work with. Alright, so the next step now is we are going to go ahead and prime our face. We're using the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. As the world know, me love this primer. Me love it. Bad to bad. Love it bad. Don't use a lot, please guys. Do not use a lot. I always spray out more than I need, always, but we gonna make it work, right? So I'm using a flat, I don't know what they call this, me call it stencil, and I really stencil, just a flat brush, and it's free in regards to movement. It's not very dense, so it's easy to blend out that primer. Now if you are super oily, or if you have large pores, you can go in and use another primer on top, like to fill in your pores. Well, I would say use it first and then you go on with the mattifying primer, and or you can do both, or you can just do the step. You can set your face with a translucent, a banana, or a setting powder that matches your skin complexion. You can use a large powder puff like this, not powder puff, powder brush, dip it into the setting spray, bounce it off, and go ahead and just pat that into your skin over the areas that you know that you get oily, like in your T-zone, right in the T-zone. Now this is where we get to foundation. So my foundation of choice today is the Rimmel Maybelline Stay Matte Primer, Stay Matte Foundation in the shade 375, which is Java, and the Black Opal Stick Foundation in the shade Black Walnut. So I like to layer my foundations, as well as we will be using another Maybelline Stay Matte Foundation in the shade Truffle, which is 364. So we're using 3 foundations today. You can see the colors? Yeah. So the darkest one will go on the perimeter of your face. The lightest one, the medium tone one, will go right here in the middle part of your face, right here. And then the lightest one you'll put here. So it's almost like you're highlighting before you even highlight. This is for my full coverage girls, okay? I have another shared out foundation routine that I personally like for myself, and that's for my girls that like more of a natural glam graduation makeup. That is for that. But if you guys want that tutorial as well, I can bring it. But for this tutorial, it's full glam. Some of our ear not, I'm gonna say, okay, lovely. So we're starting off with the Maybelline Stay Matte Foundation in the shade Java, because it's the darkest one. We're going to take a flat foundation brush and we're going to put that around the perimeters of our face. You guys can just watch me apply the foundation. Alright guys, so now that we have applied all 3 foundations, you're going to spray it with your setting spray. This is for longevity as well, and to mix up the textures, because we use 3 different textured foundations, well 2. We're gonna spray it so that we can, it's easy to blend out. In this step, don't be afraid to be a little bit heavy-handed with spraying. And we're going to use an angled, dense brush to blend out that foundation. We're starting at the bottom and we're going to work our way up. Do not do this, do this. We're stamping that foundation in. This is for my full coverage babies. Full coverage does not have to be heavy. For anybody that's gonna ask, no, this does not feel heavy. No, I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, and no, the makeup is not overlapping, so I'm not layering on products. As you can see, no makeup is overlapping, none is placed on top of none. each has their own spot on your face. All you have to do is blend that out. And if the setting spray has dried down, you just go ahead and spray your brush and continue to blend. I like to go in with my kabuki brush. It's very dense, it's denser than this one, and brush it over. And then if I had my sponges, I'll finish it off with the sponge, but that's okay, we'll just finish it off with this. So when you are applying concealer, you don't want to drag the concealer below where the as you can see, your eye naturally crease right here. You can see that right here. Now you don't want to drag the concealer anywhere below that because it pulls down your face. You want to keep the concealer, you want to keep your face nice and lifted, right? So you're gonna place the concealer here on the side of your nose. You can bring it up as far as you want it, depending on how snatched you want your nose to be. Ensure that the brush is flat and you're not picking up a lot of product either. Right across the eyes here. And upwards. Don't be afraid to do this because you'll see what it will do in the end. So we're using two brushes actually today. This is a lot smaller and this is bigger. We're just using it to blend out the concealer. Pinch it. Now guys, now that we have the highlight down, ensure that everything is blended before you go ahead and set. This is the same tiny brush that we'll be using to set today. I prefer you guys use a sponge, especially if you have textured skin. It allows you to have a smooth canvas. So you dip that into the, I'm using the Sacha Buttercup setting powder in the shade Banana to set today. Tap it off. When you are setting, use a light amount of powder at first, even with a sponge, and then you go ahead and build up the amount of powder that you're using as you go. So I normally do this about 3 times. So the first layer is normally super light in regards to the amount of powder that I am using, and then the second layer a little bit heavier, and the third just place some on top and then push that powder in. So we don't bake. There's no need for us to bake over here, to be honest. Alright, so now after we have that blended out nice and flat and smooth, we move into face powder. And for face powder today we're using the 16-hour powder foundation, Super Stay Full Coverage Powder Foundation by Maybelline, right? My shade is Java. As you know, blend that in with the same foundation shade. We are going to take, I like to use a sponge or a powder puff for this as well, but for today we're using our dense kabuki brush because it kind of gets the product on there as well. So just make a nice little swipe, tap it off because you don't want too much powder on your face. You don't want to look cakey wakey. No, we don't. For your under eyes, you want to use a lighter powder. I'm using the Milani powder foundation today, and you're going to take that same small blending brush. Where is it? Blending brush. You're gonna dip into that powder. Any powder that is lighter than you, to be honest, will work. And you're going over the concealer, that setting powder, sorry, just to, you know, smoothen that area out and brighten that area up. And just in case you carry the foundation up a little bit too much, foundation powder, that's fine. See? Magic. Now, over here, we don't use cream concealers because we just don't. It don't make no sense, to be honest, to me. As in, you can if it's your preference, but you don't have to. You can always use powder and contour. So we're using this dense blush. It's not really dense, but it's fluffy. And I'm gonna go ahead and dip into contour powder of your choice. I'm gonna go ahead and mark out those cheekbones. Do not bring the powder too far down here. It just is gonna make your face look a little bit too chiseled, to be honest. Going around the temples of your hairline. Now for your nose contour, you use back that same foundation powder and you go down the sides of your nose with it. This is if you don't want nothing too chiseled like myself. Like, honestly, I don't care for the nose contour thing, but for myself personally, but for clients, I give it to them. It's a definitely 100. You can use the same powder and just go over your eyelids, or you can use your contour powder and go over your eyelids. Anything that you like. And for blush, and just for blush, I use a reddish orange brush and I just place it right here. Baby, using that same sparse brush, this brush will make everything look really nice and blurred out. You understand? When you're placing blush, you want to take it from here and sweep it in. It's not necessarily from here. I know a lot of persons do that, but just try it. Just try it one time. Just try it. Just try it one time and tell me how it works for you. For a highlight today, if you know this, if you are a true OG, you know this. I don't even have to say what I'm going to use. When I don't know, say I'm going to use the Nabi Magic Chrome Pigment. This shade is called Cappuccino. It's number 9. 09. Girl, I'm going to tell you that that's something you're bad. It's nice. Bad to bad. I like to place it on the back of my hand. Like this. Tap it down because it's really like a loose glitter. I place it on my cheeks. Don't worry how you look right now. And right here. On the bridge of my nose. Then you take that same brush with the brush and everything in there. It don't really matter. And you just blend it out. I'm telling you, say this thing bad, it bad. It not give you too much of a harsh highlight. It's just nice and subtle. And it's buildable to where you can add something on top, or you can add more of the same thing. And it just, Jesus. Hallelujah. Now for me. Alright guys, so I'm gonna look close up how I go on. Una see this? Talk to me nice, okay? Follow my routine and my step for a full glam makeup application, and you can't lose. You can't go wrong. What am I say? Alright. So this is the final step of setting. Right? So you're gonna close your eyes. You're gonna cover your eyes with your hand. Anything you wanna do, and you just set with a Stay Matte setting spray, and this also does not come off in your mask. Wanna believe me? Try it. Make that dry down. Now if you have your sponge, all you have to do is just go over it, pounce that into your skin. If you don't have the sponge, you can use the fluffy brush that you use for your foundation. Make powder application, make it dry down a little bit more, and then you just go in like this. Now I'm just gonna apply some mascara and eyeliner off camera, redo my edges, and I'll be right back to show you guys the finished product. Alright guys, so this is the end of the tutorial. Hold on. My cute little curly whirlies. I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, a long time when the dose in my face. Excuse the back of my hand, I still have product on it. And the dose in my face, but you guys hear my voice all the time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was very informative, very detailed. So nobody now have to say, oh, you know, do an updated foundation. I did it, right? Happy New Year to everybody. Know this kind of late. And I hope you guys are enjoying your new year. Living your best life. Remember, you have one life to live, so live it, sis. And just big up on yourself. So see you next week. Bye guys.
Respect won't treat me how you wanna be treated. You told me to keep it real, but you don't practice what you preaching. You want me to blow your phone up and come and looking for you till I find you. You really want me to whoop the hoe that you fucking with if I find her. Bitch, you ain't that bitch.